Welcome everyone. Okay, I see more and more people are joining. Let's have a chat at the beginning and then we're gonna start. Okay, let me know where you're currently watching from. I managed to do this just before NahamCon because I gonna attend NahamCon, like not as a presenter, but I will check because many people will like present pretty interesting topics, so like having stream before that, I guess that's pretty good as well. Yeah, so today I gonna be hacking, like not hacking but doing live recon on most of the targets. I will show how you can pull like large amount of websites from all of bug bounty programs, like most of them, not all, but yeah, some are like little bit hidden. So yeah, it's I will show like cool one-liner. Some of you probably seen that one-liner from my GitHub, not GitHub, X. Since on X I do share some like cool one-liners that I like from time to time tend to use. Usually I create something cool on the go, but if I like if I use some kind of commands that could be used by other people, I'm willing to share with everyone in on the Twitter. Usually in the most of the cases. Okay, let's see the chat. I see one person is asking about OCE exam. I think it's like advanced after OSCP or something like that. I don't have a lot of knowledge about that one particularly because me myself I only have OSCP exam, and OSCE is a little bit more advanced. So yeah, I can't really recommend from my personal experience. So I don't know, bro. But yeah, which lab on free resources can help preparation for this? Uh, Not sure, bro. Like for SCP, of course, hack the box. There are certain labs for OSCP that you can prepare. But for like more advanced ones, like being more dedicated for Windows attacks, those are might need to have like extra stuff. But I think hack the box has right now has some kind of labs where they have like simulated environments where are like 20 or even more computers set up like a corporation, and you can do like privilege escalation, like lateral movement, stuff like that. So that one could be useful, but I know those are paid ones. So depending on where you live and on your budget, it could cost a lot of money, I think. But if you're like very time focused, if you dedicate a lot of hours during the day, you can nail it and like prepare within 1 month. Like you can use those free resources. But like not sure, like I can't really give enough advice on that one. Okay, after getting live subdomains, what is your process of hunting? It really depends on how many live subdomains there are. If there are a lot of them, I will do different style of hacking. If there are, for instance, only like 10 or so, I will go manually each one by one, and I will try to check for register endpoints, maybe API, Swagger documentations. I will try to hack APIs. I will try to identify technologies on each of that server. Maybe try to find CVs, but CVs most likely, like many people will already be like, you might get duplicates if you use nuclei, unless it's like fresh program 1 day long or something like that. But usually I will try to check the places where are logins register, and I will try to create different accounts. So if, for example, if there is a registration page and there is possibility to register as company and as like individual, I will try registering both. I will try register as company. I might need to have like certain domain on some websites. In that case, you will need to have a custom domain. So use custom domain and try register as a company and try register as a like regular user. Then I will go and check if there is any user invite functionality, and I will try to invite other users, quote unquote. Actually it's me, but like it will be lower tier accounts. So I will try at the beginning maybe some basic stuff, IDORs, XSS, stuff like that. Just not to trigger, like not alarm web application firewall a lot. And yeah, I will basically like a few days, at the beginning I will try first day maybe try to understand how application works, functionality, try to unlock as much functionality as possible, try to see like how authentication flow goes. Like first day usually I'm not hacking that seriously, but I'm trying to understand everything. Reading API docs or even support pages is extremely useful. And of course, I mentioned before, some paid functionality could hide a lot of bugs which like no one tests usually. So people are scared to spend $5 to find free K critical. So yeah, it is like that usually. OSTP exam alternative, low cost. Well, OSTP is like a golden standard. If you are looking for pentester role, if you have OSCP, usually after OSCP you can consider yourself at least a mid pentester or senior, even senior maybe with some experience. But usually if you want to get good job, the HR people will look in your CV and always look keyword OSCP. So even though if it's alternative to OSCP and you have that certificate, you will have a lower chance to get the job. So yeah, it costs a lot, but ideally what I recommend you to do is try to work on the company which actually could fund your certification. This way I got my own OSCP. I worked in one company and they funded our education, funded OSCP, so I haven't paid it myself, but my company paid for certification. So that is like the way to go if you are like looking to save on some money. Yeah. Okay, no practical today. What do you mean by that? I'm doing Recon right now, but I will do like massive Recon because I haven't shown that before on live stream. So I guess I need to do this at least one time, and later on we might try to do live Recon on single target. But right now I'm planning just to do like on a lot of programs at once, and I will show you how it looks actually. So this time it will be very helpful if you are looking for security research, like if you're doing some kind of code analysis white box and you're like testing some kind of products that many people are using, and in case you find 0-day or something like that, you want to scale that 0-day on many bug bounty programs. So to have your own domain list, you will need to do this type of recon actually. So I will show how you can do this yourself. But of course what you can also do, you can contact some people who has like huge data set of subdomains and like create your own nuclei and send it to them, and you can split bounty 50 by 50. This is like alternative way, but firstly you should do this what I am going to show you before like contacting that person. So yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh, let's see. There are a lot of questions coming from for certifications, but I guess let's keep it right now just for recon part. Maybe some like general questions. I will gladly answer you after the stream if you are alright about that. Um, okay. Okay, let's wait maybe 1 more minute and I will start sharing my screen. I'm very happy that more and more people are joining. I'm gonna have like one and maybe more than 1 hour of live hacking. This shouldn't take long, but I just want to show you how you can do it recon at mass scale, like a lot of programs at once. Hello, thank you for joining. Oh, it's very hot in my room currently. It's getting crazily hot. I mean, in the outside it's okayish, but right now I'm starting to get sweaty. Even though I invested some money in like blocking sun to this room, but I live in an apartment. There is like the last floor, and in the last floor usually it's hottest. So yeah, during the summer it's extremely hot, and conditioner is in another room. So yeah, I usually hack from another room. This is like for video making and streaming one. So that's why I have to work in sauna right now. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna start sharing my screen. So the good place to check like most public bug bounty programs is this repository by Project Discovery. They have a lot of programs included. Not all of those programs are coming from like regular platforms like HackerOne, Integrity, Bugcrowd, stuff like that, but they also include some programs which are actually have their own programs. So there is this chaos bug bounty list JSON file, which was updated 2 months ago, but for demonstration purposes, it's gonna be okay, I guess. So it does include JSON file with programs. So it has name of each program, URL where you can find it, and this is like very important for us. If it offer bounty or not. If you are just want to hack on only those programs with offer bounty, this is very important. And domains, some of them might not include domains, but others might include. I think there is also another GitHub repository. Let me check. Public where also you can find many. I think yeah, this one, Trickest. It's pretty good one where you can find a lot of subdomains as well, which are already crawled by Subfinder and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty convenient. But the bad thing about this that they also include many programs which do not offer bounty. So that is a problem for me, at least. I want to spend my like resources on programs which actually pay me. So let's see. Targets JSON, I think this one. Yeah, so it's pretty similar structure as well to get top level domains. I mean Apex domains or root domains. Um, this one is pretty good because this actually Coca-Cola VDP program do not include like on their okay, I guess this is old or something because right now they are on integrity, I think. Okay, so yeah, the thing what I don't like, they do not show which ones of those are like VDPs and which ones are bug bounty programs. So let's see, there might be some others as well. Bug bounty targets, I think this one is okay-ish. Other people are using bbscope, but like bbscope don't have an option to exclude private ones, so I don't want on the stream to leak private programs. Unfortunately, I can show you. So we will be using this chaos bug bounty list from project discovery. So I shared one liner, basically one liner where we can curl this URL, pass it to JQ, and select only those which has bounty set to true, like for instance this one, right? So let's open the terminal and let's create directory all. So it will be all programs. It's good to have to do this kind of recon at least once, just to understand, just in case during the like regular bug bounty stuff, just in case you find some 0-day. This is really good idea to have this all bug bounty programs list. So this is like one liner, but I need to remove those. Let's see what else. Yeah, it will curl that endpoint, chaos bug bounty list, pass it to GQ, select only those which has bounty, and only show the domains array. So domains will be this one, and it will have R flag just for like getting raw data without this character. So, and we might need to save this to targets, or maybe root domains, something like that. Let's save it to the root domains, and we have a lot of root domains, around this many. So it's really good start, but what I want also to do is do a little bit of editing. So either good idea to use VS Code. So I will open VS Code just to manually edit something, because I don't need this type of data. Let's use HTTPS, and maybe I will just remove it at all. Now let's use like this. Okay, it won't take that long, don't worry. Alternatively, I can use sed, but this is just a couple of them, so, or I can use this replace stuff like this. Let's see, is there are HTTP, and I want, okay, if it ends like this, it's okay, but sometimes it has docs or something like that, so I will try remove it manually. Okay, let's see. Do we have www stuff? No, so it's pretty good. Control S to save, and now we can try using Subfinder. So to use Subfinder effectively, what I really recommend you to do is either if you are using it from your own local computer or using Axiom, you have to go to the config Subfinder, and there is provider config. So I won't cat it out because I have API keys on this one, but I really recommend adding as much free API keys as possible, and this way you will get a lot of subdomains, like even like could be 10 times more than regular if you use without any keys. And also you have to make sure that you use this flag, because by default if you are not using this flag, it will only run providers for of subdomains which are actually faster. So this one will like help you a lot. And alternatively, what you can do is also to have like connect to your Axiom machine and update your provider config file. So let's right now spin Axiom fleet of 20. Of course it will take like 6 minutes for that to be done, but like for each of that instance you could also pass from your local configuration. You can like do a SSH copy to like all of those instances. You can use that config for each of those, or you can like backup Axiom machine as well. Okay, so let's check the chat. Okay, so right now we are just waiting for instances to finish, so hopefully it won't take 1 hour, but yeah, usually if it's like 20 instances it will take 5 minutes or so, and later on you can use it for longer times. Many people are asking me how much does it cost to run this many instances. I can't really give you like correct answer, because like there are many variables which actually matter. So for instance, which provider you're using, how long are you using those instances. There are like many stuff like this. Sometimes some providers like AWS, when you reach certain limit of network usage, they will like charge even more. So one time I received like large bill from AWS. So better just use DigitalOcean, like, or Linode as well. So it's pretty good. All right. Okay, I have question. Um, right now, yeah, like my main income, majority of my income is from bug bounties. So yeah, actually the main income, but it's not the only one. I do get some pen testing work from time to time. I do get some clients. I do like this. I do content creation. It's like not a lot from content creation, but it add up. Eventually, like it's snowballing. I know, like content creation, like blogging, YouTube, Patreon, stuff like that. It's like at the beginning it could be not a lot, but I know through the years it could snowball to like large numbers. So I'm just doing content creation, bug bounties, and pen testing, like most of the stuff I do. And yeah, I have background as pen tester, so I worked as pen tester like 3+ years. So yeah, I could consider myself senior, but I'm not sure. Like, there are some areas, of course, where I could like lack knowledge of. There are like stronger areas where I like shine. So yeah, it like I'm mostly focused on web. I do know a little bit about mobile testing, but it's not the best. Like I know some basics at least. So yeah. Okay, it's left about 200 seconds for Axiom Fleet to finish. So I guess I will gonna brew some coffee or something, and I gonna be right back. So keep watching, guys, and I will be back pretty soon. Oh, sorry, I was talking without audio again. So okay, so yeah, I see you are asking like from which country I am. I'm from Lithuania, uh, and there is question asking about EC console or TCM security better. I don't sure. Like to be honest, I don't know about those. So yeah, like if you're asking about certifications, I definitely I'm not an expert, but I know that are some like from offensive security are considered like as a golden standard usually, and later on depending or you where you see yourself at your career. If you are seeking for career, there are multiple ways where you can go, but yeah, like just start with OSCP. It's like good start. If you are just entering security as general, and you're like complete beginner, you could go for security plus or CAH or something like that. But like personally, I went directly to the OSCP and that's it. Like I tried for other certificates, I think advanced Windows or something like that, but I got COVID on the exam date and I haven't passed. I had temperature like 39, but I still was at the exam. It was crazy hard, like when you have like high temperature and hold the exam. So I definitely haven't passed that one. So and afterwards I just switched job, and other job haven't offered me like paid for a certificate, so uh, I ended up not completing that one because it's expensive. It's expensive, so don't lie. Okay, I see right now. I see the Axiom fleet have initialized. So right now, since we do have provider config YAML file, we can use this, we can pass this config file to our one of our created machines, or even to every machine. So just to know the usage of different Axiom commands, you can visit my blog. It's like a good start to know how to use Axiom, but also I really recommend going to GitHub Axiom wiki page. So just go right here, as just in case you won't know like which command you can run. So just click on wiki and try to find like file system utilities or a quick start guide is pretty good. And you see this is like SSH, where you can SSH to the machine, and this is like Axiom shell copy, SCP. So you can like specify which file you want, or like from which file you want to download locally, or you can like put your local file to each of that created file, each of that created instance, and like place that file on that server, each of that server. So what we want to do right now, we want to place provider config into all of that Axiom machine. So firstly, let's use Axiom ls just to get the names. So it is like this, and let's maybe firstly SSH into at least one of them just to check file structure. I will write yes and hit enter, and let's see. Okay, so this is like the core structure. It's on the home OP, and there is some should be .config, yeah, like this. Let's change to this directory. Okay, so subfinder, is there any subfinder instance here? No. So we might need to create a directory for each of that. I'm not sure why it's not present right now. Maybe it's using different one, like not sure. Because usually I know subfinder configurations is on home directory config, and then should be placed like this. But yeah, let's create maybe for each of that instance, we can use Axiom exec, and we can create, let me show like this. Let's create subfinder. Let me check if I'm executing it correctly. It should create directory on each of that. Okay, subfinder. Oh, I'm not using command correct. Make dir this command. So let's try creating directories. Okay, let's try use ls command and see like if it was created. Yes, indeed, it was created. So we need to copy provider config. So Axiom SCP from there SCP provider config and to every of that instance. So probably like this, and to where exactly? Let's see. Let's use pvd right here, subfinder. Let's try to copy to each of that machine. So basically all of your provider will be transferred to all of that Axiom servers. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will work fine. Let's see. Yeah, if this for any weird reason won't work, subfinder has I think, yeah, provider config. You can like specify the path to the provider config. In that case, it will work either way. So let's exit from this one and let's change directory to YouTube all. Let's do like this, split our terminal. At the top, I usually want to have Axiom modules, and at the bottom I might want to execute commands. So we have root domains, and for each of that root domain we want to execute subfinder command. So I will open subfinder module, and let's see, I want to include this one, provider config, just in case by default it won't include. So let's try including. Of course, you have to remember that it will uses its own file structure of each of that instance. So let's use config, let's use finder and provider config YAML. Okay, hope that's correct, and make sure you use this one, dash all, to like properly work. Maybe I will reduce threads just in case some of that provider rate limit us. So because I will be using a lot of them, in that case I will use one thread. And let's try running our command finally. So Axiom scan, you have to pass word list, and you have to specify module. In this case it's subfinder, and save the output to subfinder txt and try running it. And it could seriously take a long time, because as you remember we have over 1600 or something like that top targets. Let's wait a little bit, but you see like each of that server got around 82 or 83 targets, so it was split across all of that. So in this case it will take much less time compared to when you are running from like locally. So yeah, it could take some time, don't worry, but it won't be that long. I think 15 minutes or so. So and some of them are trashy results, so afterwards what we want to do to like prepare good list, we want to run DNSX, and later on I use mix of both. I use HTTPX and I use HTTP probe, because sometimes right now sometimes HTTPX will miss some domains. I don't know why, but like for some weird reason sometimes it misses. So like I use both HTTPX and I use both of HTTP probe. I don't think I even installed, I'm not sure if I have installed it locally, but it's definitely installed in the Axiom machine. So I will use both and I will try get output of both of them. Alternatively, also for all of those targets, I recommend running Shodan. I recommend having Shodan at least, Shodan subscription at least. Some people like who make more money from bug bounties also investing in census, but census is extremely expensive, so I don't like you have to pay like 500 each month. It's crazy price. I just use Shodan to get IP addresses, because those are only subdomains, but we also need to have IP addresses because you might find some extra stuff. And additionally some Google dorking as well. Like when you will be doing 0-day research for bug bounty programs, you want to do a massive recon like this. And we see it's taking a lot longer time just because we are using all flag right here. So yeah, let me switch to the chat and see what's going on. Yeah, thank you for writing in the chat that I was muted. Like I did this stupid mistake before. I recorded all live hacking. I recorded it, but without audio. I mean, I was doing it on Discord. I was showing some tricks, but somehow like my recording was without audio. So yeah. Okay. Okay, I see it's like 10% in right now, but hopefully we will get a huge dataset of this. And guys, remember, the more API keys you add on your subfinder config file, the more data you can get, especially if it's like paid services. Some paid services like security trails, or yeah, I think security trails or census as well. Those are very expensive, but those could give a lot of subdomains. Like, yeah, so. Can we do this without Axiom? Yeah, definitely. You can run same command on your local machine, but of course it will take 20 times longer. So like let me switch the screen and I will show you. So you can run all of this command like locally, just change like this, because and your target list, so it will be root domains and subfinder, like this, something like this. Actually you can run, of course it will take around, I don't want to lie, but it could take a whole day actually, but you will get a huge list, of course. But from the time standpoint, if you want to save time, you can do it with Axiom, but yeah, it will cost a little bit of money. So yeah. Okay. Okay, let me sip some coffee because I feel a little bit sleepy nowadays. So yeah, I was on the vacation like last week, so that's why I haven't did live recon and live hacking. But I feel refreshed right now. Um, I went to the UK. UK. I like. I was in UK before, but right now I was again like third time in United Kingdom, and it's getting so expensive out there. It's crazy. Like I'm not even considering to visiting UK more because after Brexit, it's crazy. Like the prices are insane. Like especially in London. Maybe yeah, in like some countryside areas it's okay-ish, but in London, like to rent apartment, like to rent very small room, it will cost like fortune. It's crazy. Some people I know in some countries, some people do not even earn that much when I spent just for apartment in like for a couple of days. So it's crazy. Okay, I see you are asking about if I do live hacking in the future. Yeah, I do live hacking, but I don't want to do hacking on like live targets on YouTube because it is like very gray area. I will need to explain for YouTube if I'm doing this, like why I'm doing this, and even though it's like not malicious, but it's hard to explain for them, so that's why I'm doing off the YouTube. So feel free to join Discord uh, and just check announcements channel, and you will see like I'm showing some live hacking as well. So this like I will do next one tomorrow on Discord, and I'm gonna show some like manual hacking more because previously I have shown little bit automated way just because during that day I was little bit sick, and doing automated way is much easier. Don't have to like do a lot of stuff. And yeah, hopefully I have also ordered a lot of parts for new computer. I will be building my own computer, so more manual hacking incoming because right now I'm just using laptop, which is actually very old, and if I want to run burp suit, some things won't work and could crash. Like even if I'm not using Windows, I'm using Linux, which actually saves a lot of RAM memory because that operating system will cost less RAM, but still, it's crazy. Like when I open Burp Suite, I open some kind of Firefox or like Chrome tabs, and my computer was like, wait for it, wait for it. I'm like, I'm not that young, and it will start lagging like crazy. So yeah, right now I'm waiting for new computer parts, and I have ordered Intel i9 processor uh, with 24 cores. It's like beast. um, and yeah, I don't get that people like who using AMD or Intel and they are beefing with each other. Look, I'm not like I'm gonna not use that computer for gaming. I'm gonna use it just for working, like Burp Suite mostly, and like doing a lot of like maybe rendering stuff for videos and stuff like that. So I gonna need a good processor, and I gonna have a lot of RAM on that one. Right now, as a start, I will have 96 gigabytes of RAM. So that's a lot, but I could also add extra 96 afterwards. I guess I will get some bounties, and from that bounties, I will invest even for more RAMs. So it will be absolute beast. But I heard on Twitter, I seen some posts, even people having computer like that, even then, like sometimes Burp Suite could crash. So I will see, I will see. But right now, from the laptop, from my old laptop, I could show some hacking, but I cannot really show most of the stuff since might only be on the repeater tab most of the keys. And for the most hackers, that's basically what all they need. So that's why many people I see switching to Kaido. But I guess for me it's not enough convincing yet to switch. So like, and Burp Suite, like Portsfigure, the company behind Burp Suite, are releasing a lot of stuff every day. So like some nice features that I actually discovered myself pretty recently. It's extremely good. I shown for my patrons like how you can use Burp Suite with how that's called, B checks. Yeah, B checks. That is like nice stuff. It's basically like you can basically create like something similar to nuclei templates, but for a burp scanner. So you can basically, every time you visit website, you can do various checks automatically, like checking XSS, checking like SQL injection, remote code execution, stuff like that, or like on your specified endpoints. And you can basically edit your payloads as well. Like some people are using custom payloads for SQL injection, and default Burp Suite payloads, well, I've seen some success from them, but usually I will discover more using manual approach. So even having some B checks, like specifying your own payloads, I can't really trust that 100%, but it's nice addition to have actually. So yeah, I was talking about some like live hacking about Burp Suite, and that I actually purchased pretty nice computer parts, and I gonna build computer. Hopefully they will arrive in 2 weeks or so. So it will be crazy, crazy computer. Because like I'm really, I don't know, like this one is okay-ish still, but like day after day it's getting slower and slower. So I know, like, okay, I gonna switch my screen for a little bit just to show what's going on. So it's still loading. It's like 40%, just because we are using like we are testing a lot of we are getting data from for a lot of subdomains. So that's why it's taking so much time, but hopefully it will take less than 1 hour at least. So I think 40 minutes is the total amount of time it could take actually. But definitely if you consider running Subfinder right here, like from your local machine, it could take up to 1 full day or even more. So keep that in mind. This one is much more faster actually. And additionally you also want to use AMAS, but I don't want for this stream to take 3 hours or so, because like waiting for a mass it could take even longer. But I'm just showing the ideas. So this one is running Axiom scan. So you want to also run a mass with Axiom and combine some finder output with the mass. And later on that one I will show what to do next, but let's wait a little bit more, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then afterwards I guess if I got tired really I will do some other stuff. But I guess this type of live stream it will be okay just for chilling, hanging around, doing some recon. And yeah, tomorrow I will do some live hacking. So yeah. What do you think of AI without internet, which answers all questions? Does it help in hacking journey? Uh, I haven't used any AI without internet, so I'm not sure like if they work very good or not. But I use AI myself actually to get some ideas. Definitely, I get some good stuff from AI for content creation. So like if you see in my channel, most of my thumbnails are actually made by ChatGPT. So I just generate. I will write what to generate. I will write which like templates to use, theme. I have like own theme. So I will ask ChatGPT to create the thumbnails for my YouTube and also for my blog. Also, what I do is I ask some questions related to hacking, but actually ChatGPT, well, you have to trick it a little bit to ask some hacking questions. I know some people are actually using Hacker GPT or something like that. It's also paid service, but it costs similar to ChatGPT 4. So it's okay if you're just using for hacking, but I'm using ChatGPT not only for hacking, so I'm only paying for ChatGPT. And in case I want to do some ask some questions related to hacking, for instance, I want to run subfinder command and I want to like ask if there are possibility to use it faster, you how like, or I get rate limited all the time, or how I can use extra headers. I can ask questions like that, and ChatGPT will give me one liner with all the command which I could test myself. I can't really trust it 100%, but in the most cases it could really give you a nice command. For instance, sometimes I could really ask some questions which like actually, yeah, you can find it usually on Google, but sometimes when, for instance, I want to generate some word lists. So for instance, I will ask, give me the top file names of known CI pipeline configuration files or something like that, and it will give a list, and you can like specify, give me 100 files, and it will give like 100 files, and you can like copy them and add it to your word list, and you can like create your custom personal word list using ChatGPT. So yeah, I have blog posts just for using a little bit of AI for bug bounties. For me at least, I used little bit. For mainly, it's best for using for content creation right now. But definitely, I think some things could like it could be as assist for certain things. Definitely, but I'm not sure if it's worth spending $20 or so. How much it costs right now during for the month? For most of people, it won't worth the money, I guess. So you might give a try and see yourself, but for me at least, for content creation, definitely it helps. What tools do you usually use for URLs? Mm, I don't know, like what you're like you need to be a little bit more specific, because when you go to a URL, it will be like different story for each of the website. You have to take a look inside, what's inside, what technologies it's running. So after like understanding which technologies that website has, after that you might want to use different kind of tools. But if you're asking from manual hacking standpoint, definitely the most like top priority tool that everyone should use is Burp Suite, of course. It's like a Swiss knife. It has many features what you actually need. And I'm not paid by them to like offer you this, but like every pen tester use Burp Suite. Every pen tester, like maybe some older pen testers. I see some older like people who are doing pen testing for 15 years or 10 plus years. They are using other proxy tools. So I seen people using those, but definitely not of ASP Zap. proxy, not like only of ASP people using that, to be honest. Pen testers rarely use that, but I can see like no one is using, but like majority people, I'm pretty sure 90% of professionals are using Burp Suite. All right, let's wait maybe 5 more minutes and I will stop running those, because it's like for most of the instances it's like 50% way, for some are 30, but I don't want to be this like whole stream just for getting subdomains. Yeah, but usually the like getting recon data for this many targets, yeah, it will take this many time, and like to do a good recon you'd have to do good homework. Even having this amount of root domains is not enough. Sometimes you need to go to each of that specified program manually, and sometimes there might some programs, I think Unilever or something like that, they actually have some external files on other sites. So like if even though they're using platform as backroute to host their like policy, but their scope is actually on external websites. So, and they are constantly changing it. Okay, let's see the chat again, and maybe I will answer 1 or 2 questions, and after that I will start moving on testing with other tools as well. So what do you think about learning cybersecurity for from universities? I have some friends which actually has a cybersecurity degree in university. Me myself, I don't have degree in cybersecurity, but I have similar degree. I mean, in the IT field. I do have software systems or something like that. It's called software engineering degree, which basically programming stuff. So I have degree in that, but I switched to the cybersecurity. So I won't lie, it definitely helped me in some kind of way, and it might help you as well, but it's not mandatory to, like, if you are looking for career, it's not mandatory. You can be successful if it's actually really depends on you, like how passionate are you and how much time you dedicate to your goal, and like what steps do you do to achieve that goal. So are you like learning every day? Are you checking some kind of certifications? Are you practicing every day? Are you just reading new stuff? Like I read every day, and a lot of hackers do I know also like read a lot of write-ups every day, even though like I met some guys who made millions, seriously million from bug bounties, like before taxes, but still made million from bug bounties like crazy. They must know a lot of stuff, but they still like every day they're reading a lot. My blogs, other people blogs, like some seriously very good security people. I'm not like top tier, but there are like much more better people who actually have very good quality content, and the people learn from each other. Even though they like could be millionaires, they still learn from each other. So learning every day, and yeah, it's constant learning. So if you are staying in the university and pursuing degree, it will have a structured course, of course. But the bad thing maybe about universities that there might be some topics that you might not be particularly interested in. And if you, for example, you know actually what you want, which type of career you are purchasing on, and you want to save time, university might not be good option for you. But if you have a lot of time, and if you want to have good resume, it might work as well. So I know it's up to you to decide. So okay, let's see, what is the difference your previous Epic Games Recon with today's Mass Recon? So yeah, it's a good question. Right now I gonna do pretty similar stuff actually. So I will also try to generate like as much subdomains as possible. Try to check DNS of that subdomains as well. And I will also try to do HTTP problem. I think on Epic Games live stream I haven't done DNSX. I went straight to HTTPX after subdomain. I'm not sure like 100%. So this during this stream I will just want I shown some extra steps, extra stuff for Axiom. For example, extra commands like Axiom exec, Axiom SSH, and Axiom shell copy. So those commands I haven't shown. So I'm doing pretty similar stuff, but I'm adding some sprinkling some spices on the top of it, you know, like cherry on the top. So yeah, I'm doing, even though I'm doing similar stuff, but I'm adding a little bit more stuff as well. So you can actually broaden your knowledge on this type of recon. And yeah, what are the views of your about GraphQL? Well, I know a lot of people are finding a lot of bugs from GraphQL. It's just basically just another form to use API, but personally I don't have a lot of knowledge about that. I know there are a lot of bugs because people are just lazy to test GraphQL, and I see more and more websites starting to use it. Especially I seen I seen a lot of marketplaces or online stores using GraphQL. So yeah, it might be interesting, but like personally I'm not like very into that technology. You have to be into that technology to test, unless you know there could be like pretty good bounty of that. But like me personally, I want to focus only that on those technologies that I'm particularly interested in. Okay, I see message redacted. Okay, I haven't got enough chance to read it. What does DNSX? Please give some basic idea of it. So yeah, if we use DNSX, it's basically, it is DNS toolkit, which you can basically, you have a list of okay, let me show the screen because I'm not showing the screen. Okay, you see when you like enter help menu of DNSX, it says it's multi-purpose DNS toolkit, which actually what it basically do, when you have a huge list like this of subdomains, not all of that subdomains will do DNS resolving. So it could be like this amount of host names might be like 2 million or 1 million host names, and if you try running without doing the DNSX, try running HTTPX or HTTP probe, it could take longer than running DNS queries. So this tool will just run DNS queries and check if it resolves. So basically, yeah, and you can pass the resolvers for it. Let me check if it has. Yeah, resolver. So you can use list of resolvers. For resolvers, I do use. Let me see. Resolvers. Yeah, trickiest resolvers from right here. I use resolvers.txt. It has a lot of IP addresses of services which actually resolve DNS records. So, for instance, if you send this one to that IP, it will check if it responds to something or not, or something like that. You have to check like how DNS works, but basically there are some servers called resolvers which actually check those like host names if they resolve, and if they won't, this tool won't show it. So it will basically, this could be used for like reducing the list of all of that. It's not ready, but all of that gathered hostname file. So okay, let's try using it right now because it's running way too many times. I will cancel with Control C. Ideally you want to use subfinder plus a mass and then merge to like hostnames file. You can check my previous live streams because I have shown how to do that. So let's be patient. They are downloading a lot of results probably. So let's wait for this to finish, and I will open DNSX module. So I will use rflag with resolvers txt, but ideally I want to download all of those resolvers files. So I have created the module called update resolvers, which I also shown. So it will basically just use curl command for this one, raw data right here. If I click raw, it will just use curl and save it to resolvers.txt on like locally on that server. So in order to run that, I need to create a file with the amount of lines of how many servers do I use. So for this I use this command. I see my stream is a little bit lagging right now. I think I was lost for a couple of seconds, but we are just running update resolvers command for like each of that server. It will update resolvers, and later on we will run DNSX for all of that target. So if we see like on this side of the screen, there are almost 7 million results for all of that public bug bounty programs. So that's a lot of stuff. But imagine if I ran subfinder like for whole time, and I also ran MS, it could be even more, like over 10 million or something. So it's very huge list. And right now, to reduce that list, because not all of that host names will work, I will use subfinder, and I will use subfinder output, and I will use DNSX and save it to DNSX.txt. So this tool is much more faster than HTTPX because it's not doing HTTP request, it's doing DNS request, and DNS request will send less traffic. So in that case, ideally it should take less time. Okay, let's see. It shouldn't take that long. Well, it says it's outdated, but I'm not sure like if I gonna update it, if it's really gonna be very different. Okay, let me switch to the chat. Okay, so we can also resolve live subdomains from DNSX. Uh, well, they just do DNS resolve, but it doesn't mean that those subdomains will be accessible, because after you send HTTP request to those like gathered list, like for all of that list gathered from DNSX, there could be different responses from HTTP. It could be showing status for 100, 401, 403. It could be web application firewall in place. It could be some kind of VPN enabled, so you won't be able to access. In that case, you're still gonna need to do HTTPX and or HTTP probe as well, just to determine the live subdomains. I'm using DNSX just to reduce the list in this case. So yeah, if I switch the screen, it's like checking a lot of data right now, and I'm not like 100% sure how many time it will take, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't take 1 hour. Because yeah, this stream could seriously be pretty long. Jeez. Okay, I guess we are back. Let me know in chat if my internet connection is okay. I need to like put the internet cable in this room, just to be, because right now I have invested in better internet connection, but the thing what I haven't did yet, I haven't like checked the cable from the router room, because the router is in another room and I'm just using Wi-Fi right now, so using internet cable might be faster. So I just need to I will, for the next stream, I guess I will do little bit work for better internet connection, because I see my internet sometimes really drop. But yeah, yeah, and about subdomain takeovers, I don't do them. I don't do subdomain takeovers because there are a lot of people who are actually doing this, and it's really hard to compete against them. So okay, let me check real quick. The YouTube showing that the speed. Okay, never mind. It's showing some errors, like YouTube Studio is showing me some errors, but I'm not sure. Okay, hopefully everything's gonna be alright. Okay, can you hear me, guys? Right now, yeah, it's showing like it's better. As I said, like I need to do some wiring to this room to get internet cable to not happen, for this things not to happen. So yeah, I was talking about subdomain takeovers. I don't do that because there are a lot of people who are already doing subdomain takeovers. So personally, I will just gather a lot of subdomains, do DNS resolve, and later on just check with HTTPX and HTTP probe. And yeah, so and afterwards, if I find 0-day, I will create nuclei template, split that target list into certain chunks, and use some Axiom instances into that splitted chunks, that template. So yeah, this way. Why don't you use pure DNS instead DNSX? Less false positive using pure DNS. Yeah, I will probably try using pure DNS. That's like I'm not expert on everything, so yeah, I might try and I will see if it's giving me more or less results. Okay, I see how to do application analysis after recon process. Can you please guide us? Uh, so application analysis is actually hacking. So on YouTube itself, I'm not risking that. I'm doing this on Discord. So if you want to see how I approach different applications, how hack manually, you can try like joining Discord and checking there. But I have like previous live stream on YouTube I was playing with CTF, so I little bit shown my approach for different sets of vulnerabilities. I've struggled a lot, but yeah, like the good mindset is the key actually, and having good either checklist or methodology, it's like good help as well when you're starting out. Hello, can you answer my previous question? Okay, let me check what was previous question. Personal question, how money you made total from bug bounties? When was last time you submitted the bug? I submitted bug like 2 weeks ago. Last bug. No, oh no, I submitted bug yesterday actually. Because sometimes in bug bounties you might don't want to submit a lot of bugs at once. Sometimes you might need to have some bugs laying around to submit like throughout some period, because there are some programs which actually if you submit 10 bugs within single day, they will pay as the single bug. But if you submit those 10 bugs throughout like 1 month, they will pay for 10 bucks. That's like big secret. So yeah, yesterday I submitted 1 bug, and total amount I can't really disclose because I don't want for people to be jealous or something. So like I don't want to share with many people. So I don't want to flex a lot, because I really hate people on Twitter like sharing how much they made and not sharing the tips how they like ended up there. They not like contributing anything to the community, and they're just flexing on Twitter. I don't want to be that guy. I want to contribute for the community. I want to explain everything what I do. I want to show like the new stuff what I found and could work for the like certain stuff. And I have some secret methods that I do use, but those methods are actually like few percent. I share a lot of stuff with you guys, so but I don't want to flex a lot. Okay, let's see, let's scroll down. As the beginner, what are the bugs we should focus on? Yeah, I said it like 10 times already. You should focus on IDORs, XSS, and business logic. Those are just beginner bugs, and those are simple and very often. I mean, not often, but very common. There might be some programs where XSS is not usual, but IDORs is everywhere basically. It's hard to fix IDOR everywhere, so yeah, those are very like the most common bugs are business logic and IDORs, and then you need to like know which bugs like throughout this year, throughout couple of years are most common. Just go to OWASP top 10, and they have like top 10 bug classes which are like most common and are not very common, so you have to check for those. And IDORs could be as impactful as SQL injections. Sometimes IDORs could be even more impactful than SQL injections, because they could lead to account takeovers, and that account might manage many assets, like many different websites. So like taking over that account could be more impactful than, for instance, getting database from only one server. So yeah, it happens. That simple bug as that could be impactful as that. In which company do you work? Currently, I am self-employed. I do pen tests for other companies, so I have my own company. But before, I worked in multiple companies. You can check my LinkedIn actually. So, why don't you put your face in the video? I'm not sure. Like, I'm not used showing my face to a lot of people, so I'm not sure like why I'm not doing this. I might start doing this, but I like right now I have some kind of some kind of theme around my videos, so I'm trying to be consistent. But I need, just in case I decide to showing my face on the videos, I need to do some kind of good transition into that. But right now, I guess I'm doing more of live streaming, more live streaming and less videos, because I still need to balance content creation and bug bounties, because still bug bounties are the like my bread and butter right now. So I need to put some bread on my table to have something to eat. And content creation, I consider it as like hobby and the place where I can hang out with people. So yeah, but later on I might add some my webcam screen on the corner of videos. But right now I guess I need to invest a little bit more on the web camera, because right now my web camera is just from old laptop, so it's not the best quality. So for the videos I seek for better quality. Okay. What type of vulnerability have you submitted in the most in your career? Let me think. I have like, I'm not sure. Like, I need to check my profile and my stats. But I when I approach application, every application is different. So on one program there might be many XSS. On one there might not be many client side issues. There might be IDORs. So if I like find, I usually like I'm not focusing on one vulnerability type. When I do manual testing, I focus on most of the vulnerabilities. It really depends on the functionality. So to answer this question, like, I'm not sure. Like, my types of vulnerabilities I submitted are splitted not like evenly, but like mostly, yeah, mostly like on the OWASP top 10. Similar to that actually. So a lot of authorization issues, like the top priority, some information disclosures, that is like the common ones. XSS is also very common still nowadays. Server side issues, I have submitted those, but those are less common. So it's very similar to OWASP top 10. Also I submitted some SSRFs as well, and file uploads, like unvalidated file uploads where I could upload shell. What tool to use to reverse engineer a binary? I'm not good at reverse engineering binaries, to be honest. It really depends. It's what kind of binary it is, and what is your operating system, and what is preferred way of hacking. So, and yeah, I'm not expert on that. I'm like better at web hacking. But if you're like considering of reverse engineering, binary exploitation, uh, you should better check Live Overflow. He has very good videos about it. So I'm like, it's not my topic to check. Okay, I know in the Web Academy labs could seem easy, but if we complete those labs, do you think we are a little bit prepared to go in the wild to hunt? Well, yes, in a sort of way, but completing labs alone is not enough. You need to understand those vulnerabilities, like how they work and how they occur as well. Like to understand how developers make bugs. Uh, you have to read a lot of write-ups as well. You have to read from Portswigger Academy as well, like material that they provide alongside those labs. That is also what you need to do. Additionally, I've seen some people who are joining bughunter.com or something like that. It's like Zshawn's platform. This platform is very good. It's paid, but it's extremely good for preparing you to do bug bounties, and they focus mostly on writing good quality reports and how to approach application methodology, and they have like some prepared vulnerable applications, and on that platform you can submit bugs like you will submit on Bugcrowd, HackerOne, or any other platform, and they will work as treasures and do stuff like that. So it's really good practice before you go into the wild. But of course, you can go to the wild anytime. Actually, you don't have to limit yourself. But personally, I would like every day you need to learn. Like, don't think that you like completed lab A, lab 2, lab C, and then you can go. Yeah, you can like do training and do some reading and go hunt, and then go back, learn something more, read write-ups, and go hunt again. Like you have to learn and try it, applied your like what you learned in the wild every time. You have to test new stuff every time. So yeah, this is how it works. I'm constantly learning many stuff myself as well. Don't worry about webcam quality, sir. Your content quality is 4K. Yeah, but I see some like weird quality stuff like from the camera. So eventually I gonna invest in some webcam, but I have like dedicated Patreon page for people who like my content, where they could like get some uh, initial access or like some additional behind the scenes videos, maybe some live hacking videos as well. I start that live hacking recordings on Patreon, and all of that Patreon money is going to the studio that I'm currently working on, like better internet speed. Like I put the sunblock in this room, like you can't really see, but I put the curtains out there, but it's much better because I can right now you can see it's almost 2 hours and I can still stream because sun is not showing on my screen. So I'm investing everything from Patreon. Of course, I'm putting own money into that because I can't really wait like month or two for this. I want to provide quality as soon as possible. So yeah, but of course setting up everything takes time. So what is your biggest achievement so far? It's like a work related question in the interview that people like to ask, but my biggest achievement actually is an achievement that I cannot really disclose. So it's because like it's still private thing, but I can't really disclose. Uh, it was actually the application which I was working on for the client. I was doing white box testing. White box means that you have access to the code and you will have access to like live application or staging application. So I had access to the source code. So mainly I was doing source code review, and from the source code review I found a lot of bugs. So for that particular client I've saved a lot of money actually. But because like if he or she, like the it depends what is the owner, if he decides to have bug bounty program, before fixing all of those findings that I found, um, they might need to pay a lot of money for like security researchers. So before they released everything to the bug bounty, I did white box testing, and I saved a lot of money for them because I found a lot of bugs. So but I can't really disclose what bugs and where I found. So yeah, like sorry for not answering fully, but it was my biggest achievement actually. So okay, let's see, how did you learn and how to find vulnerabilities, and what do you think is the best way to learn how? To learn, as I mentioned, like there are a couple of options to learn about vulnerabilities. So the top places to go, depending on how much money you want to spend, is Sportswigger Web Academy, and there is Pentester Lab. Pentester Lab is paid. Some of those topics on Pentester Lab might be old, but they are adding new stuff every day, so you might find some interesting stuff. And of course, reading researcher reports, maybe checking some Medium blogs as well. There are some good write-ups there, but there are a lot of trashy ones. People are just making up stories usually, so you have to do your own due diligence on that. So reading a lot, write-ups, like practicing, trying to understand vulnerabilities, and yeah, after that you can try, as I said, like Zishono's bugbountyhunter.com, and also you can start today. It's that simple. But it really, like, you're just learning for yourself, like what you need or what you do not need. Some people are just focusing on like single vulnerability and that's it. Would this be recorded? Yes, this will be recorded. This stream will be recorded and placed on YouTube. Okay. If someone wants to be like you, owning own company, what tips would you give? How many years would it take to have the skills to owner of the company, and to get clients and all? Yeah, every person is different, and for different person it will be different time periods, of course. But if you grind every day, learn every day, and you know that cybersecurity is your passion, I think 3 or 5 years working in like related field, either just doing bug bounties or having professional career and switching on to your own company, it's like okayish. But so for some people might be different time, like even more. But I think from 3 to 5 years is like okay stuff to start your own company. And to start your own company, there are some difficulties, of course, doing taxes, getting clients. But usually, if you have good network, I really recommend having good LinkedIn, and share some stuff on LinkedIn, be active and share your knowledge for some people. And through LinkedIn you can really get some good clients. Some people are just posting classified fields or something like that, like offering services. I don't recommend that because you could get trashy clients. Most of the good clients what I got was actually from LinkedIn, and later on when you provide good quality service for one company, they might offer you for their friends, for other people. So basically word of mouth. So you will be snowballing time after time. So firstly, you won't get too many clients, but if you do quality work, eventually you will get more and more and more. And you might afterwards you might want to hire some people. But I don't focus on pen testing a lot because I like doing bug bounties as well because it makes me free. I like the freedom. While you're doing pen tester related stuff, you don't have that many freedom because you don't have a chance to choose the program, what you want to hack on mostly, and you have to attend meetings, and meetings is not the funnest thing. And of course, pen tester reporting, it's documentation stuff. It's part of the job. It's pretty annoying, but you have to do as a pen tester. And of course, pen tester and bug bounty hunter is little bit different. Pen tester wants to show everything, like even some security headers if it's missing, or on the response showing too much information. It is as a finding what you want to report as pen tester, and for bug bounty hunter you aiming for impact. So on bug bounties reports you won't report that. So yeah, it's pretty different, but some vulnerability types testing is pretty similar. Are you participating in Nahem Colon CTF? I might start to participate. I haven't yet started because I went back from vacation just a couple of days, and all of that time I spent actually like finishing off stuff that I haven't finished yet. So I haven't got enough time to even do bug bounties like past couple of days. But I guess I'm not sure like if I want to participate on CTF or not, but I will definitely want to watch some presentations because I seen very good topics to be displayed, and I follow some guys on X which will be presenting, and some guys are following me back as well, and there are like very good topics that I will be listening on. Not all of them probably, but some good topics that I might learn something new. There might be some topics that I already know, but still there might be some addition on the top of that. Like in this stream I shown like stuff that I shown before, but I've shown some extra stuff as well, like at the top, how to use some Axiom commands and stuff like that. Okay, suggest a bug bounty checklist with most vulnerability types. Actually, for bug bounties, I recommend building your own checklist because every person hacking style is different, and for different person different checklist will work. Personally, I made my own checklist. I like as pen tester you want to check for everything, but as bug bounty hunter you want to check for certain vulnerabilities that are more impactful. So I shared some of my checklist on X, so feel free to check them out. But as a good start, I recommend checking OWASP checklist, but not all of the stuff, but maybe just a couple of this, like how to approach access, how to do Google Dark. Not sure, like about Google Darkling, they don't show many stuff, but for like common vulnerability types, you can check OWASP. You can check maybe when you approach like on the certain vulnerability, you might know that there is indication of certain vulnerability, then later on just use payload all the things. That one is really good and I like to use. And hack tricks as well. Sometimes the hack tricks might have some extra stuff that you cannot find on payload all the things. For example, I think for SSRF I found some extra stuff on hack tricks that I haven't found on payload all the things. But like one time that I was trying to exploit SSRF. Okay, let's see. What you say, hack the box subscriptions might help us to gain practical knowledge to get bugs. Uh, Maybe just a little bit, but it's better if you want to get practical knowledge and like not make money. Better just try on VDPs, because VDPs have 10 times more bugs than like regular programs. Like just start on VDPs. I don't see nothing wrong on that. Like start on VDPs. Just you can get some points from that, and you will get some private invites, and you can hunt on private programs. You can do it this way. I don't see nothing wrong about that. And playing CTFs, I guess it's more better for pen testers than like bug bounty hunters. So I guess just start with on live stuff. And I don't know, like capture the flag is pretty different for me at least. How to find SSRF through reverse proxies, path routing, not through parameter. I'm not sure like what you're asking me for. Maybe just ask after the stream, because like it seems like a little bit more complicated stuff, but like mostly when I look for SSRFs, either it could be some parameters on like get or post request, or it could be on locations where initially I found like stored XSS, but that stored XSS is being processed somewhere. So it means that some kind of server is using your payload on other server, using your XSS payload on other server, and returning back to like the original website you found stored XSS. So if there is, usually SSRFs are very common on microservice architecture or service-based architecture. You have to look into that, the different types of website architectures, because there will be monolithic architecture and there will be microservice architecture. So usually SSRFs are on microservice architecture, and usually on those servers which will process your data. So I'm just telling some like basic stuff, but like you need to be like more specific and maybe ask after the stream. Okay, so let's see. How many years did it take you to learn hacking from zero? And did you learn in the university, self-taught? If you are self-taught, what sources did you use? So hacking particularly, I'm self-taught, but I had a career in computer science. I was, before starting hacking, I was a programmer, and I attended university for computer science stuff. So I had some similar knowledge at least. So it was simpler for me to be self-taught to transition into cybersecurity and like pen testing job. So as I said, like I started with Hack the Box. I started with learning about core concepts from YouTube as well, about cybersecurity core concepts for web related stuff, as I mentioned previously, which resources I used. And yeah, it took me like a couple of months to get to the entry level job. So to get entry level job, it's pretty similar as internship. You won't get a lot of money from entry level job, but later on you might want to either switch jobs or like get certificate. I really recommend getting certificate if you are seeking for career. So so yeah, certificate. If you have OSCP, you could consider yourself at least middle pen tester. I've been invited to bunch of private programs, but they have bunch of hunters invited too. How do you get invited to the program without many hunters on it? That's really good question actually. It really depends on your score. If you are talking about private programs, usually there are two ways how hackers are getting invited. So one way, then the program has its own treasures. I mean, the company itself has its own treasures. So they themselves usually decide which hackers we want to invite. So they usually select the hackers which has highest scores. And there is other way, which actually also could be included in that first thing I mentioned. So there is algorithms for each platform. So usually the algorithm will look of your recent findings and look into your score, and according to that we will invite you to the programs which might have for instance, if you are submitting a lot of XSS and there is program which known to have just a little bit of XSS findings, we might invite you to that program. And they also, like, the top thing what every that top thing for algorithm and for like inviting manually for those treasures is actually your score. So you want to either find a lot of bugs and bump up your score, and you might get some private invites. So yeah, usually you can find any information related to hacking on YouTube due to its terms of service. Where exactly can you find information since it's restricted everywhere? About hacking. So usually the people, when they hear word hacking, the people who are not from cybersecurity, they're not from IT, it has very bad word for them. Like, they think it's really bad thing, because yeah, there are some cyber criminals who use hacking for bad stuff, and the word hacking usually means doing some illegal stuff for most of the people. But hacking could be done for the good for the companies. So, but not many people know that still nowadays, and even people working on YouTube. So sometimes it's really hard to convince YouTube if like your video has good intent or not. So that's why there are not too many videos for that. But there are some channels who like talk about different kind of cybersecurity topics, but not like hacking on live target. So that videos are also acceptable if you are hacking either like prepared website like CTF, or maybe just your own website, just to show how hackers will do this. But to see live hacking, usually I recommend checking private like Telegram groups, Discord servers, and of course Twitter. Like, try to follow as many people as possible related from cybersecurity and pen testing, and eventually you will find some people sharing the stuff. So yeah. What do you think about use of BBRF to organize recons? I haven't tried it yet myself, so I can't really comment on that. So yeah, I'm computer science dropout, but now I have taken another computer related degree. To your knowledge, do you think degrees matters getting cybersecurity jobs as the beginner, like SOC role and all. Definitely for some companies, like having education is a very good indication that you are a dedicated person, but you can stay in one place for longer time. So companies want to keep employees as longer as possible in their company. So if you're shown on your resume that you have finished something and you like spent 4 or 5 years pursuing degree, it means for them that there is indication that you might stay for longer time and not switch, you know. So from like career standpoint, having education, I guess, yeah, that's good. But of course, like there are different companies. So some companies are very, let's say, fresh. I mean, not fresh, but very modern, and they don't care if you have education or not. They just care about your knowledge. So usually uh, then you're going for a interview, there will be 2 or 3 talks. First talk will just check how you like communicate as a person, like not your testing, not your technical skills, just telling about yourself, checking if you are suitable for that company culture and stuff like that. And the second interview will be technical one. So but before interviews, we will just read your resume, and if we see that you don't haven't finished university, there is indication for some companies, but not for all of them. So I don't know, like it's really depends on the company we are applying. Okay, the last question I think, and later on I will switch my screen. Hey, do you switch from job to bug bounties freelance? Yes, because last job I quitted myself actually because it was like so draining. I mean, I got so many clients at the same time. The few previous pen tester, when I arrived at that company, 2 pen testers left, and I was left with like 5 projects at once, and I had to manage my time to be like please everyone. And I said, okay, I can finish 5 projects, no worries, but I need to like get some extra money for that because I will be working overtime. So you have to pay me overtime for that. So and we talked in between like for a week or two, and I really started getting pissed off by that company, and I said fuck it, I will leave, and I just left last job, and I started doing bug bounties for a couple of 2 months. I haven't found too many bugs, but I like eventually I found some programs which started paying more and more. And when you find your first bug, second bug, third bug, eventually you will start seeing more and more bugs. You will basically stop the course. Just initially, it will be pretty. Initially, it could be very stressful, but after you find a couple of first bugs, you will have to retrace what you found, like how you find what you did right in that way, and try to reproduce either on the C program or like on other program, and eventually you will succeed, at least to this certain extent. And for the clients, I found some clients from out connections, because as I said, like having a career is good if you are building your network of people as well. So yeah. Okay, so I answered the last question. We are streaming around 2 hours, so that's nice. That's like, I think, not sure like if it's longest time I stream or not, but we'll see. Let me switch the screen. So like it finished just recently. It took around 46 minutes for DNSX. and there are less results right now. As you can see, if you remember, there was around almost 7 million. Right now is almost 3 million, so twice as less results. So next, what we can do, we can run HTTP probe. So I'm just using this flag on my module to have more concurrency, just because by default I think HTTP probe has concurrency level of 20 only, but if I use 300 it will be much more faster. So yeah, it's pretty good to get list from HTTP probe. So I will show DNSX HTTP probe and save to HTTP probe txt, and I will do another scan with HTTPX. So let me check HTTPX. I have multiple HTTPX, so I think HTTPX simple. Yeah, it will just use this many threads, but it won't show the status codes. It will just use no coloring and silent. So this is just a simple HTTPX, and I have for default one, I use many stuff, and I show a bunch of stuff like title, IP address, just in case they are not using web application firewall, technology as well. It's pretty useful in some cases, but additionally you might want, like on that HTTP probe or HTTPX list, you want to run nuclei technology. It will have more results. SC, I think what it is, oh, status code, follow redirects, because some websites might redirect you and you want to check which page you are being redirected. CNAME might include some CNAME stuff, and threads. So I might want to run this as well. So, and to save to the HTTPX. And as far as I know, it will run a long time. This will take like 2 more hours or so. So if you want to run like locally from your own computer, I won't recommend running this many targets. So yeah, I won't show like everything right now because I don't want to stream for 5 hours. Or would I? I see some people still watching, so let me know down in the comment if you want for me to stream 1 more hour or 2 more hours. Let's share your opinion in the chat. Let's share, and there is a little bit of delay in my stream, so that's why I'm like responding not so fast. But when I set up my internet the right way, I will create less delay between the chat, because yeah, I want to be as best quality as possible, but I can do what I can do. I think you can chill for today. We can do marathon stream on Discord. Yeah, because I will do Discord stream tomorrow as well, because usually Fridays are just for Recon. So Yeah, not why not? Why not? I can really just hang around with some people. Just be active on the chat, and if people will start leaving, I guess I will end the stream. I can stream for a longer time, for sure. I just need to put some water right here, so because I drank all my coffee right now, but I need some beverage, I need some water, and I could do a little bit more stream for you guys. Where are you from? I'm from Lithuania. I mentioned this already in a couple of my streams and in this stream as well. I follow you everywhere. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys for all the support. Really appreciate. Like it's extremely motivating to like when you share your good feedback about me. Well, of course I get some shit comments. Like everyone does get some shit comments. But yeah, it's part of the job of content creator. So, but like I think less than 1% of people submitted the shitty comments. So I guess I'm pretty lucky still. I have a lot of hardcore fans, so that's really nice thing. First time I came to know sure the right. Yeah, actually I started when I started doing content creation. I started on Medium. Later on, I have created my own website where I submit 1 week in advance on my website and then do the same post on Medium because a lot of people are on Medium reading blogs and a lot of people really like getting content in written form. Alongside, I was sharing some short tips on Twitter because Twitter is all about short-term content. So I guess one-liners, Google dorking was the beginning for me at least. I seen those things actually work the best on Twitter. I shared some of my bounties on Twitter as well, like how much I made, but eventually I stopped doing that because what the fuck, man? Like I don't get why people are flexing there. Like I get a lot of followers after I flex that I got some like 3K, 500 something, but I know like why to be so proud. I don't want to be that proud of guy and and I really started seeing some people like just like all they do just share what I made this amount, I made this amount, and then they are not sharing anything to the like public. So what's the point, you know? So yeah, and after Twitter, after blogging, I decided okay, I might share some YouTube stuff as well because sometimes explaining it on the video format might work. So actually on YouTube it will take more time than to write a blog because on YouTube you have to like pick a topic and at the beginning you have to create like a proper video structure. You have to know how to attract many people. To be a little bit clickbait is like part of the game. So yeah, so I tried doing that and a lot of people started requesting me to do some live hacking. But the thing what I can do, I can start sharing some live recon at least. So I started showing those things because I haven't seen many people like sharing massive recon using Axiom. So I thought, okay, for some people this might be very useful since like very good hackers reached out to me and said, I really like what you do for the community, especially with Axiom. So yeah, I saw that there is a gap in the in this like content thing, so I started sharing this stuff. And there is a gap that I also seen. There is a gap in the web application firewall bypasses. So I started creating more and more videos for that topic. At the beginning, I created most of the topics that like are common, but I was just experimenting along the way. But after I like put a lot of data for YouTube like picked the audience for me, and from that audience data I saw which videos are like performing the best, and I saw like web application firewall bypasses are the best. So I like right now I'm focusing on that topic. Maybe later on I might include some extra stuff. I see more and more people are requesting various stuff in the comments, so I don't know, like I will see, but I have to like what I do. So if you suggest topic what I don't like to showing, so I won't show. It has to be this way. So yeah. Do you set any monthly goals in hunting in terms of bounties, bugs for staying motivated? Or do you put X number of hours and bounties to reach for your goals? I don't do this. I like at the beginning I tried this, but to be honest, you don't want to set X amount of money you want to make, X amount of hours you want to spend. Don't do this. Don't do this. Because like for me at least, personally, I see this is like a recipe of disaster, because you will be pushing too hard on yourself and you can get burnout this way. Instead of what I'm doing to-do lists. Like for me, to-do lists are the best. Like it's simply stupid stuff, but it works. I just do like, okay, today I will test this functionality. From this functionality I will test this, and I will have like to-do list. From the content creation side as well, like I will write this type of blog, I will create this type of tweet, like or amount of tweets, and I will just do to-do list. And I really like to have a check mark when I complete something. It does something for my mind, at least. It's gives little bit of dopamine boost when I complete some stuff. So I really recommend just do divide and conquer. Like pick a task and make that task into like very small chunks that would take like 15 minutes or so to complete, and create like small to do tasks and try to complete them, and you will be pretty much motivated. And don't like limit yourself, okay, today I will do 8 hours or 12 hours. I don't count time. I just feel when I like it, I just go do stuff, and I don't count hours. Sometimes there could be shitty days where I don't like to do anything. There could be sunny outside, and there could be very good weather where I just want to go for a ride with a bike. So I will go for a ride on a bike, I go back home, and I go hacking, you know? So yeah, but I have some schedule times at least for live hacking and live recon, so I will do those then, not like when I feel like it, because I have my audience and I feel that I owe for those people. So I dedicate my time, just couple of hours each day. And of course sometimes I do collab with people, so we will schedule the time during the day and we will meet up on Discord usually, and we hack together on the target. Collaboration is the key actually. So you just need to find the people to work on and hack on the targets. And don't be scared to like reach out people on Twitter. But don't reach to the people who are top of the leaderboard, because they are receiving thousands of DMs each day, so they might not respond. Just saying, bro. Okay, let's see. After using Subfinder or AMAS and filtering live ones, what should we do after this? How use live subdomains? How the program you can guide, please. So yeah, right now what I'm showing gathering data, getting live domains for all of the programs, not single program. When you want to do manual hacking, you should pick only one program. This is what I'm currently showing you. Right now this one is running HTTP probe and this one is running HTTPX. So those are just only for collecting data, just in case you find zero day exploit. So those are like this purpose is actually very different. But when you hack on one program, you will do something similar, but after like collecting your alive subdomains, you will some people are doing screenshotting, some people just going manually one by one, and some people are just looking to the status codes, titles, and like filtering that way, like prioritizing. First thing is prioritize which websites you will go first. And go to those websites, and usually, as I said, like I focus on API documentation websites, main websites where you can register accounts, or maybe login websites where you cannot register accounts but you might find login bypasses. So I focus on those first. And why I focus on those? I focus on those just because when there is API, then there is authenticated functionality. That means that application will hold some kind of important data. And for hackers, data is everything. Data is money. Understand this. Data is money. So like cyber criminals, what they are trying to do, they are trying to steal data. So not all data is important. Usually important data lies under authenticated functionality or within the API, or maybe on the forgotten website. But usually you should focus on those websites. So indication usually for those websites, it could have certain, like subdomains might have certain words. For instance, API endpoints might have word API. There might be word as admin. There might be word as special technology like Jenkins. It's very interesting for hackers. And there might be Elasticsearch stuff. There might be some like I don't know, like STG or stage or production. So those are like very interesting subdomains from subdomain wording. From subdomain itself and from the titles as well. The title from the response is also important. That's why I'm using certain headers on the HTTPS. Like you see, title, IP address as well is important, and technology. Sometimes you can also filter out all of your gathered live domains by the technology. For instance, if you like hacking on PHP websites, you can filter out only those which has PHP. But not all of those will be shown from the tech side, but you can just start working from them. Okay, let's see what else. What kind of bike do you own? I'm interested. Yeah, I have MTB bike. It was pretty expensive, even more expensive than the computer I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, but I gonna build on. It costed around $3,000, something like that. It's extremely expensive. Like nowadays it will be cheaper, so I don't know, but it has full suspension. It has very flat tire, not flat but thick tires. and it's mainly for riding dirt roads or like through the forests. I really like taking bike, going to like forest or countryside where is like dirt roads, and just sprinting. So that, or maybe sometimes I use other bike which is like mostly uh, for asphalt. So I will with very thin tires, and I will go for long rides. So if I'm training endurance, I go for long rides. Like I'm not very good cyclist. Like the longest distance I went through one sitting, it was 100 kilometers or so. It's not a long distance for many of cyclists, but for average Joe like me, it was kind of big. But right now, yeah, I'm not doing too much cycling right now. I'm going to the swimming pool because um, there might be some days where it's rainy, and there might be some sunny days where weather is okayish, not too hot. So on those days where it's not too hot but like sunny, I will go for a bike ride, and for other days when it's raining or too hot, I will go to the swimming pool. So I'm doing this type of stuff, and I'm usually doing this before I'm sitting nearby the computer. So I like to do some sports because I have noticed that I my mind will be clearer. I mean, my mind will be fresh, and I will think much better when I do some kind of workout in the morning. At least for me, how it works. Hey man, just wanna say thanks for doing this much for us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my content. I really, as well, I really appreciate for being here. Okay, this. Thanks for the great explanation, mate. This was such a positive answer. You are right, focusing on money gives more burnouts instead. Heck, when you feel like it, and bike rides and love. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't want to push yourself too hard. And of course, when you don't have like much of experience in like any cybersecurity related stuff, for most of the people, to be honest, it could be really hard doing bug bounties. It's not simple, it's hard. I'm not lying, right? It's actually pretty hard thing to do. So those without experience, for those people, yeah, it will be a really struggle. And if you push too hard, you could get depression. And I won't lie, a lot of people, even good hackers, uh, they might stop hacking for years. Like you see some people left with like even millionaire hackers. You see like Doggy G, he was like away for 1 year or so. Zishan also, like I think he did some like longer break as well. But I think he worked on something else. But still, others like other examples. Tom Nom Nom is extremely good hacker. He developed a lot of good bug bounty tools. Right now, I'm using one of his tools right here, HTTP probe. So he also did a longer break. So people, when they get burnouts, they will do breaks afterwards, and you want to be too hard on yourself. That's like not many people talking about this, but yeah, burnouts happen. Okay, how long have you been riding bike? Since I was kid, actually. Since I was a kid, like, but like I started doing it seriously like 3 years ago. Like I started going almost every day when it's good weather, of course. Like usually in the spring or summer, because in Lithuania where I live, we don't have very good. It's seasonal weather. We have 4 seasons, so we don't have every season that it's okayish to ride a bike. I know some hardcore bikers that I actually met. They go even during the winter on the snow, but it's crazy. I don't like that. And on the autumn, it's very wet everywhere, so I don't like to getting splashed. So I like to be feel like real well, enjoy the ride. So I just usually go on the summer and spring. And yeah, I was going almost every day, like for 3 years. I think I started doing it when it was, no, maybe even more than 3 years. I started doing it when it was like COVID quarantine stuff. So there is nothing what you can do. Actually, you can't really go outside in the, I know, in the city. So I was just doing bike rides from that on. Okay, for average Joe like me, car ride 100 kilometers too much. Yeah, it depends where you live. In some countries, I know, like for instance, in Norway, a lot of people are driving 100 kilometers each day to their work, and people are living like that in some countries. But in some countries, people are living in big cities and they don't even need to own the car. We can reach almost everything within same city. So yeah, it depends where you live. Actually, I lived in various countries, and I know like, and I traveled to various countries, so I know like it's very different. I was your 100 subscriber. Nice, nice. Yeah, Ghost game. I too ride bikes, mostly automatics. Still learning geared ones. Can't understand gears. Yeah, uh, yeah, it will take time for some people when you are not used to that. Okay, let me switch my screen, check how it's going on. Mm. It's still running. I see at the bottom the HTTPX are almost finished running for numbers. So it will start alphabetically from the letter A. So my prediction is that it could take 4 or 5 hours to fully complete. But HTTP probe is much faster. I think I saw D or letter like this. So I don't know, like I still gonna stream a little bit, but I need to do a short break. I will need to put some water in the bottle. So I'll be back soon in 5 minutes or so. Hopefully, I will see you guys as well. So be right back. Okay, I'm back, guys. I see Alexander saying 3 more hours. Well, if there are a lot of people watching, I might. Can't say, like, I can't really promise. I am not sure if I feel tired or not, but at least 3 hours. Let's set right now. Let's set mini goal 3 hours, maybe 3 hours in total. We'll see. Okay. Sorry, I also went for water. Yeah, just we are just hanging around here, guys, because at my screen actually I'm running a couple of commands which might run a lot of time, so I'm just using this live stream for just hanging around, answering questions as well, because I know there are a lot of beginners and beginners do have a lot of questions. So I'm offering some good answers, probably good. Can't really answer everything, but hello anonymous, thank you for joining. I do have question for you about how to find new domains and start hacking them and finding more subdomains. Do you mean horizontal enumeration or yeah, because there is a couple ways how you can find subdomains and domains. So if you are talking about top domains like root domains like target.com, target.us, target.lv, target.lt, or something like that, like those are root domains. So if you're asking how do you find those, so there are a couple of ways to do it. So either you can use services like Shodan, you can write organization name and try to find for that organization, like all of that listed IP addresses might have some host names, and some host names might have some extra host names you haven't seen before. So you can use Shodan, you can use census to from the organization IPs through the search you can find many top level host names. And later on, of course, or maybe first thing what you might want to do, go to the main website, and for different websites might be different sections, so you might want to do on-site recon. So on-site recon, by on-site recon, what I mean, just going to the blogging site or just going to investor relations or something like that and checking the brands that company own. Usually investors page for the big companies are pretty interesting because they usually post their documents of recent acquisitions. You can check those. There are some websites who actually show the acquisitions, like Crunchbase, I think. Of course, you can go to Wikipedia of that company and check that way. You can find many maybe brands that they own. There could be companies like, imagine you are hacking on car company which actually allow all the assets that they own. So what you want to do to check if that car company has acquisitions of other car companies. For instance, BMW, they own Mini and they own Rolls-Royce, I think. Not sure, but they own multiple brands. All right. So you want, for each of those brands, you want to check websites which represent that brand, which owned by those brands. And from later on, of course, for each of that website, again, navigate to the main website and scroll down, and at the bottom there is a footer. So try to copy that footer and paste it in the Google search. And you will be surprised how many extra websites you can find this way. Other way is copy favicon image. You know, favicon is like that little symbol near the website, usually on the tab. If you, for example, open Facebook and you see mini Facebook logo, that is favicon. So you want to copy that file and create hash for that file. So favup, I think, is the tool where you can like create favicon hash, and using that favicon hash you can use Shodan, you can use Fafa and other services, and you can do search using that favicon hash, and you might find some extra websites this way. So I have a video for horizontal recon, so you can also check that out. I shown multiple of those approaches as well. I hopefully I answered your question, or maybe I misunderstood, but if you are asking about getting more websites, is those are the things what I personally do on all in scope targets. Utterly, there was some drama on Twitter a month ago about VDPs versus bug bounties. Many were saying bug bounties are dying. What are your thoughts on this? I see myself doing cyber security for whole life. Definitely. Bug bounties are not dying. They are actually growing. I don't think, because more and more programs are joining, and usually then program join, usually they start as VDP or as private program. Really depends on the size of the company, depends on the infrastructure, IT infrastructure of the company, depends on their budget, depends on their IT of their IT staff, how many people are working in IT, because there might be multi-billion-dollar company, but they might outsource all the IT staff. So for those people, it's really hard to like find people who can like look after bug bounty programs. But eventually they will like create it. So there are different cases, but I see where I see market right now, I see it's growing, still growing. More and more bug bounty programs are joining actually, and yeah, maybe there are a couple who are switching to VDPs, and yeah, I really don't like that. Me personally, I don't see problem people doing VDPs if they are just starting out, if they are just a beginner and they just want to learn and like put something on their resume, but they found bugs in like huge corporations. That's fine. There is like, this way is the legal way how you can do that, and even though the company is making billions, like, and they cannot pay, like, that's shame for that company, not for the person who's doing security research. Why I should care what other people are doing? Like, I don't give a f what other people are doing. It's not impacting me personally. Maybe it's impacting other people personally, but when I saw those people who are like bitching the most, like talking trash the most, they're actually doing fine. But I don't know, like, why. I get the point to trash the companies, like multi-billion-dollar companies, for like not having bug bounty programs. For like, they had VDPs for 5 or 3 years, but they haven't had bug bounty programs. In that case, yeah, it doesn't make sense. But if they're like, that company is just starting out and just choosing VDP first, I don't see that bad as well, because many programs like who paid tens of millions for researchers started as VDPs. Like, Verizon Media started, Yahoo started as like not paying at first, I think. Or maybe like I could be wrong, but I know some big programs started as VDPs at the beginning, and later on, then there are a lot of bugs found. Later on, they switched, but there are some like companies who intentionally are not paying and abusing the researchers. I really hate those companies, and people trashing on that companies, I get that, okay, but I don't get people trashing other researchers. Like, why you have to publicly shame someone, and why you have to like share it on Twitter, other users profile, and try create a drama out of this when you yourself haven't provided anything useful, just flexing, and that's it. So I don't want to mention anyone specifically, but yeah, I'm against any kind of drama. So I like, we as researchers, as the community, we should be for each other. We should collaborate. We should work to make internet the better place, make it more secure. We should work together, collaborate, and not be against each other. So that's my 2 cents of it. So me personally, I said like, I don't care. I don't care. Like me myself, uh, I rarely hunt on VDPs. Maybe I'm just testing the tools, testing some methodologies, like for 1 or 2 days in the month, maybe max. But after on, I want money, and I just go doing bug bounties. Just me personally, and I don't know. Like, I don't care what other people do, but personally, I just go to bug bounties. Okay. Terli, can you look at my latest write-up and tell me, is it worth it hunting there? Sadly, not able to share link here. Yeah, bro. You can send the link on Discord. You can DM me. It's fine. If you don't spam my inbox, that's alright. So you can send the link in the Discord, and you can find the Discord link on most of my videos. So, including this one. Okay. Hey, utterly thank you for sharing your knowledge. Really appreciate. Yeah, I'm not sharing like crazy amount, but like eventually, if you look throughout my content, eventually I do share something new for at least some people, because there are like multiple people will have multiple sets of skills. So as I mentioned, like even it could be like very good hacker making a lot of money, but still could find something new from me. So yeah. Okay, let's give quick look how the scripts are running. They're still running, as you can see, and we almost hit 3 hours. 3 hours, and we will see like. And a lot of a lot of those subdomains you might want to filter them out. You see like Cloudflare, bot management, blah blah blah. Maybe Zendesk websites should be excluded, because I think there are other people Zendesk pages, but it could be good. It could be good to check for some kind of Zendesk misconfigurations. So maybe I seen some people, for example, Atlassian has Confluence, right? Confluence works like a wiki, internal wiki for the companies, and I see some companies made it public for everyone, and on their wiki pages they share some like PII information. So I seen things like that on like Confluence pages, and you can do some dorking on those pages to find like some sensitive documents as well. Even though it could be confluence.com, but it could be like company name where you're targeting on. Uh, so if you find it, technically it's out of scope, but if you find on that wiki page some like information about API endpoints, uh, so in that case, yeah, it could be very juicy. Yeah, and I see it's blocking, um, it's blocking me, but I don't care right now. I might rerun later on all of those, because it seems that Cloudflare had picked up on rate limiting. So, but I don't want to run very slow as I'm running on many targets. Right now, I'm just trying to get status codes, some additional information. But yeah, those are just a lot of not relevant information. But later on, I might filter them out. Okay, let's go back to the chat again. Okay. Please complete it today. I can't wait for another part for mass recon. And there is any alternative of axioms can you are doing now? I'm not sure like if there are some good alternatives. I've seen most of people using this. Well, there are, I think, alternative. It's Tricast or something like that. It will you can like build your own automation on the graph or something like that, and they will do everything behind the scenes. So it might be a good product. So I might give a try for it. But like complete everything, I don't want to stream all day, bro. I could, because usually I leave scans running like this. Like I leave it overnight, or I go for a ride my bike, and leave running like this, and I will go back after a few hours when I see like it probably will take at least 5 hours. So I might want to leave this. When it finishes, I go back, and that's it. I don't want to stare at the terminal. Or what I can do as well, leave this in the background, and I will do manual hacking on the data that I collected previously. So that is like the things that I do. And I picked up a little bit of water because my throat was getting, after talking a lot, like 2 hours straight. Like right now it's 3 hours. My throat was starting to hurt a little bit, and the voice started losing a little bit of voice. So having water nearby, it's pretty good as well. You can end the stream. Hopefully you helped us enough for today. Yeah, I can, but I can't stay as well. I can stay and just stare at the screen, you know. Yeah. Let's see, like when some people, I still have some time, so when I see some people leaving, I might end, because I don't want to be like 5 hours, because usually people don't have that amount of attention span, right now I see from YouTube stats people have like short attention spans, even if I try to improve quality by a lot, I see like stats how many seconds people are on average checking. It really helps me determine which videos I like work on more, or like what I did good. So that's really good from YouTube. but like I know people don't have big attention span nowadays. Like especially the younger generation who are going to school right now, they like it's crazy. That's why some social media got so popular, which are like short-term content, like TikTok, Reels, Shorts are getting popular just because short attention span. That's that reality we live in. So, do you have a good reference for learning SQL injection? Yeah. So as the start, as I mentioned as well, just try to like play around with labs on Portswigger Academy as a start. Later on, you want to read a lot of write-ups about SQL injections. I really recommend following some guys who are good on SQL injection on X or Twitter. Godfather Orva, Navin OX, one guy forgot it, also from Jordan. Uh, Forgot his Twitter handle, but I also follow him. Those three guys are very good um, at SQL injection. There are some couple of them as well. I can't really see it from the top of my head right now, but there are some people that I actually follow and they share the tips. I really like people on Twitter sharing the tips because like I hate them. Like there is researcher and he is not sharing anything, but then people are sharing at least the payload, at least show the payload. So they are just showing some nice payloads, and most of those payloads could be found on GitHub. So as well, some of those people are creating write-ups. So you like initially go on Twitter, check those people who are good at SQL injections, check their write-ups if they have write-ups. Usually I've seen most of the write-ups on infosec write-ups or medium.com, and try also to get on HackerOne feed. Just type SQL injection or SQLi and search for reports and check for the payload they used, and try to build your own board list either from GitHub. And yeah, also other stuff, it's really important to play around with tampering scripts. And right now the mostly people are bypassing web application firewalls, sending SQL injections using XOR payloads. XOR is basically just operation which tricks most of the web application firewalls to execute some kind of payload. So you can do very interesting trick. I might show this on this stream, not sure, like because I technically won't be hacking. So do you guys want to see it, like some cool trick which you can like update your SQL map? I could really show this. This is like right now I found out myself. It's really nice trick. Do you want to see it, guys? Let me know down in the chat. Okay, fuck it. Anyways, I will gonna show it still. Like, I will show, how you can customize your SQL map to send your own custom payloads. So I added just one payload for XOR based SQL injection because by default SQL map doesn't use XOR payloads, and those XOR payloads are extremely good at bypassing web application firewall. So additionally you want to add them. So let me share the screen real quick. I will use other tab, and there is Let me check. There is I think on that local, if you install it on Linux, there should be SQL map configuration location. So there might be lib, Python. There are a couple of versions of SQL map in my example, but I will use on Python 3. And side packages, a lot of stuff. Let me see, let me check. It should be payloads or something like that. Messages, no. Payloads, let's try to find those. Okay, let me use Google real quick. I really forgot where custom payload. I think this guy showed on Medium how you can do that, but I used this article. I need to clap him more, and I used this article. He made an article on how you can like specify your own payloads. Let me check the file. .xml payload. Let's try to find XML probably. XML, no, I will use find command better. XML type F templates. Yeah, SQL map data XML payloads. This one. Let me check. Yeah, you see, it's in my local directory, lib directory, Python, side packages, SQL map data XML payload. It's really hard to remember. That's why I checked the article. And there is those files, right? So I will use code, Visual Studio Code for that. And you see, there is XML based payloads. So each of that there is certain functionality, syntax on this, but it's very easy actually. If you know how XML works, you can basically, for instance, copy this one, like select any file. The SQL map works in different ways. You can specify which type of SQL injections you want to test on. So there could be time-based, union-based, stacked queries, blah, blah, blah. So this time I just edited time-based SQL injection, right? So I opened this file, copied like one example, added at the top, give it a name. So in my case, MySQL XOR time-based blind, blah, blah, blah. This one, I'm not sure what it stands for, but this one, level and risk. Maybe I will use at here right now. When you use SQL map, you can specify level, I think up to 5, and the risk up to 3 or something like that. So if you write level and risk 1, it means even though if you use higher options, it will still run this. So the level and risk you will specify here. Also, to access time-based only those payloads, you need to write like this: technique equals T, like first word. So Boolean based will be B, then there is error-based E, and there is inline query, not sure about this, union-based, I think U. So in this case it's T because it's time-based, so it will access those, check the levels. Clause, not sure, like not sure what those do, but actually what's really important to change is those two. So those two, where my payload goes. Random string and random numbers will pick any number when the SQL map is sending payloads, and this one is actually where my payload is. So the sleep time is also like pick the random time of sleep time, or you can, I think on the parameters, time sec or something like that, there is a flag to specify like between each request how much time you want. And yeah, it will check the time, and you can also specify database management system. So if you add like this and everything is right, you can use your own payloads. And to do some payload research, what I really suggest you to do is just go to GitHub, just write SQL injection, or what Godfather Orvagas, good one. Just use XOR because XOR payloads are very good. And let me check. Use type was txt. Maybe try this. Okay. So now this is like Google Docs. So let's use Godfather Orva. He has a good example actually. So he has SQL txt file, and you can hit Ctrl F and write XOR, and you can get some inspiration and place those in your SQL map, like I shown right here. Create something here and try to understand how they work. In this case it uses sysdate, so it means like sleep function is time based because it's getting sleep payloads. So instead of 30 seconds, you will need let me check, you will need to like enter this sleep time in those clauses, right? And yeah, there might be, those are also sleep. So you can find a lot of good inspiration here using XOR. And as well, like let me check, maybe payload all the things. Let me check payload all the things. There is even no SQL injection, but for no SQL injection there are other tools. So let's try to find XOR polyglot. So this is polyglot. You could try using polyglots, but what I recommend you to do, if you are using polyglots, bump up those little bit, because by default SQL map uses level 1 and risk 1, so you won't need to specify those actually for that particular payload. But payload like polyglots are very heavy queries, and it could get your IP blocked very fast if you are using polyglot at the beginning. So yeah, just try searching. Yeah, there's only one, so maybe not so good. Or you can use Google as well, like SiteHacker1 SQL injection XOR, and you can read some reports as well and try to check what other researchers done. Like you see, I think they used the same payload as me, but I specified right here. Let me check. Yeah, let's close this site and let's try to compare, right? Random number, so there is a number right here. XOR if now equals sysdate sleep time 0 XOR. Yeah, that's basically the same payload. That's the same payload. So you see, the guy found SQL injection. So if I'm using SQL map and I'm using sleep time-based method, I could like specify multiple targets using mflag. So it would be targets txt, and I could use technique T, and it will run all of that targets, and of course it will run all of others. So you can really modify this file, only use your own specified payloads. For example, you can modify even this one, and maybe you want to like modify SQL map to use even less stuff. So yeah. Okay, so let's go back in the chat again. Okay, I saw you went on the trip. How was it? Oh yeah, it was amazing. I went to UK. UK cost a lot of money. I need to financially recover from that trip because I live in a much cheaper country. It's getting expensive right here, but it's okay if you earn decent salary. It's good to live here actually, but it's not getting. We have like some crazy neighbors per se. So yeah. But like apart of that, it's very good country where I live. So but in the UK, like only stuff what I think it was like very expensive. Of course I seen some like not cool people on the streets, maybe drug addicts, so that was not okay. But other things, like I went to the otter sanctuary. It was on the countryside, was not on London. So I got chance to feed little otters. It was really very good experience. So life-changing experience. So yeah, like that was like my best experience ever. So even though the other stuff was not so great, but that thing paid off everything. Okay. We want to see, but we don't want to do anything to the channel. Maybe you can post video on Discord. No, I haven't. I just shown a configuration of SQL map. So I don't think that this will flag my video. If I will use that configuration and run SQL map on live website, that might be not good. So yeah, I'm not touching surface right now, so it's good. I also like otters. Yeah, that's really good. So yeah, I see some people are starting to leave because some of them might get tired, and I'm also looking forward to join NahamCon because there will be a lot of presentations that I'm very interesting to seeing. So I guess a lot of people also want to see them. So I guess that will be it for today. I see the scans is still running. Oh, okay, HTTP probe have finished. At least one thing have finished. So HTTP probe took around 1 hour to run everything. So Well, I guess that's right. That's right. A lot of results, even more results than there is targets, because it is sending HTTP and HTTPS. That's why. But yeah, at least something what I shown. I shown more on the mass scale. I could also show some extra stuff on the mass scale, but actually this thing what I did is like how you can prepare a huge data set for testing 0 days. This is just it, and I won't be sharing this in the next streams. I like other times I only will show the recon part on just single program, and that's it. So thank you all the guys for being here. It was really my pleasure. It was not so tiring this time. Thank you really for patrons for investing a little bit in this streams. It was little bit hot but less hot this time, and I really appreciate the sun is not shining on my screen. So have a nice weekend, and some of you might join tomorrow on Discord where I do some like more manual hacking. And yeah, also when people are joining on Discord, just check announcements, okay? Because then like I see some people just joining on Discord and they're asking when I will do the live stream. Just check the announcements and announcements channel. So yeah, let's go watch some presentations on NahamCon, and like see you tomorrow.